How are we? Welcome, Raven fans, Oriole fans, Ravorisports, Sports, to our special Ravens and NFL free agency day one recap. One of these days, I'm gonna like the way the hat looks on camera. One of these days, I am. Okay, like and subscribe to all of our videos if you like this type of content. Definitely check us out with all of our content on especially YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. So we have content on there as well. Instagram and TikTok as well. We have Shorts Business side, our LinkedIn page. Definitely check us out with all of those platforms that we have. A couple things here. Definitely check us out on our Facebook page. On the Facebook page, we do have some materials on there, some Orioles and Ravens merchandise. If you are looking to purchase that on there, you can go ahead, send me a message. It is ravorisports/Facebook. You can see it on there. Also, Genesis Notary Service, Facebook.com, if you're looking for your notary services right there. So definitely you can go ahead and get all that there on our Facebook page as well. A little bit more business. Channel announcement. The Maryland game against West Virginia is at 12:15 on Thursday. So we will be doing our weekly Bravery Sports podcast. We'll be uploading that on Wednesday night now. So usually it'll be Thursday around 1, but since there's a game, we'll go ahead and do that on Wednesday night. You'll be able to look at that Thursday between 8 and 9 o'clock. That'll be uploaded there. We will be doing a react to the Maryland and West Virginia game after the game around 2:30. We'll do a quick react to the Maryland and West Virginia game. Big game for Maryland. So they're going to get to the Sweet 16s. They're going to have to beat Alabama in Alabama. So keep that in mind. We'll definitely talk about that on our main stream, and we'll have a broadcast for that as well. Now, let's get down to what happened today. You're excited about today. You like football. You're a football nerd, because you're like a player movement. You like the draft stuff, and you like this type stuff. So we're going to go ahead and go over all of that. First thing we're going to go over to, let's get this out of the way as well. All right, so word came out today about Lamar's contract again. Lamar Jackson apparently leaked down. Shepard go ahead and put it out there publicly. Kind of similar to what Stephen A. Smith said. 133 was the, this is all reported alleged, that Adam Schefter put out there. It was about 133 was the price, the fully guaranteed at the signing. So the word they used to use was signing bonus. So that's what he was offered at the beginning. 175 was the total guarantees. So at the total life of contract injury guarantees, he gets another $40 million, $200 in total guarantees. So and they called it, the word was practical guarantees. So that was $200 million. The third one you can just throw out because they said he wouldn't get that until after 3 years or whatever. So the number is correct, what Stephen A. was saying. They never went past the 133 in total guarantees. And 175 in injury guarantees. Who knows how that's worked? That can get a little dicey how that is. But let's even say it's 175. That's still, this is why they're so far apart. He's asking for more money than Watson. Watson has about 230 in guarantees. This is why the deal is right. But this is what's going on with that. I absolutely believe, I know a lot of people don't like Stephen A. or whatever, but I absolutely believe that what he said. He obviously talked to Lamar or Lamar's camp, and that's what they said, and that's what was been reported. 133 total amount, 170. There's still a lot less than what the Deshaun Watson offer is. We're still waiting. Today's free agency also to kind of pointed out some things. Numbers were down, I thought, across the board. A lot of positions. There was a lot of money spent, obviously, but in certain positions. But cornerbacks and things like that, there's a lot of stuff that was not as usual. Numbers were a little lower, I thought. than it's been. So let's go over a couple things. This happened a couple days ago. Chuck Clark traded to the Jets for a 7th round pick. So this is expected. Good job by the Ravens getting anything. Chuck Clark is a guy, he can put him right in the Jets, I'm sure. Put him right in as a starting safety right away as a free agent. This is somebody that the Jets will be happy to have. And the Ravens, this may work out because the Ravens, obviously, they drafted Kyle Hamilton last year at the beginning of the year. Kyle Hamilton is going to take over Harbaugh, basically all but a minute. He's going to take over at strong safety. No surprise at all. Hamilton played well at the end of the year. Hey, you can get, they got a 2024 pick next year, so this isn't this year's 7th round pick. They got something for that where they could have got nothing, and they get the whole cap relief. So the whole $4 million that the Jets are taking off the books for the Ravens. So that allows them to get another player. So that's important. Calais Campbell. Favorite of a lot of Raven fans. A lot of fans were not happy about this one, but I kind of expected this. Calais Campbell was released by the Ravens. The Ravens put out a statement saying that Calais is not going to be returning. They did kind of leave the door open for him to come back, just in case something happens. But they're going to go ahead and cut him, let him go, see if he can go find another team. Ravens side of it, they didn't want to pay him what they were paying him. They're trying to clear that space so they can maybe do draft and do other things and build their team and do what's best for the team. That's what they're doing. The Ravens, however, are going to go ahead and, I think, do the Justin Houston thing with him. It is a possibility that they will go ahead and bring him back. I don't think they will, but it is a possibility that they may bring him back at some point. But they're going to just wait till the end of the summer or wait right before camp if he's still there. My prediction for Calais is he signs with a different team. Jacksonville, a lot of teams, Philadelphia, just a lot of teams could put this guy in the defensive rotation. I absolutely believe that Calais can actually sign somebody. Absolutely, there's no question about it. Ben Powers. Ben Powers signs a lot of money here. 4 years, $52 million, $28.5 million guaranteed with the Denver Broncos. So, again, not unexpected again. Eric DeCosta Auburn admitted in his pressure that they were not going to go ahead and sign him. They didn't expect to sign him because they didn't think they'd have the money to go ahead and get him squared away and sign for the money that he was asking for. And he got, good for him, $52 million, $28 million guaranteed. This guy was on the roster bubble at the beginning of last year. So we didn't even know if he was going to start at all. Good for him. Absolutely happy for this guy that he go out and gets this type of money, signed $28.5 million guaranteed for a guy that's on the bubble. Good job. Good. Happy for Ben Powers, even though he's going to be leaving. Not expected. What does that mean for the Ravens? Probably you'll see Ben Cleveland get the first shot at it. We'll see what happens in the draft. Osiris Torrance, highest rated defensive guy in the draft. We'll see what happens there. See if they're able to get, or they may just go in-house and do that. So that's a lot of money that he got, Ben Powers. I don't think they were ever going to spend that much money at guard. They let these interior guys go all the time. That's a common thing for the Ravens. Biggest surprise, Josh Oliver. 3 years, $21 million. Vikings signed Josh Oliver. He was your third tight end. So here's another guy. Gets a big contract when he was fighting for a roster spot beginning last year. Everywhere I saw it was talking about him as one of the best blocking tight ends in the NFL. Good for him. Even though he's leaving. And again, this is a spot where the Ravens have coverage already. So Charlie Kolar drafted him last year. We saw him and Isaiah. We saw Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. We'll probably see more of Charlie Kolar. He was injured a lot of last year, didn't get a chance to play because Josh Oliver is there. Now that Josh Oliver is gone, he's going to go ahead and get more of a chance to play. Josh Oliver gets a chance to go to Minnesota and play as a blocking tight end. He gets a chance to play with Kirk Cousins on a team like that and get a chance to be on a contending team in the NFC and maybe play a little more. So that is good for him. So good for Josh Oliver getting that squared away. Couple things in the national scene. We're all waiting on Aaron Rodgers for the Jets. As I saw it a few minutes ago, I did not see it was done, but it's done. Aaron Rodgers will most likely, unless he's a weird guy. I mean, he tends to do. He was on this thing. He's a bit of a diva. But unless Aaron actually decides to retire, he's going to be probably playing with the Jets. It's come out. Trey Wingo came out earlier and said, "Okay, well, this is done." A lot of hitting around that this is done. I don't know what exactly we're waiting on. Aaron has to sign off on it or say he's going to retire, whatever it is. But it looks like Aaron is going to the Jets. That means Jordan Love is going to be signing with the Packers. It's going to be the starting quarterback for the Packers, and they're finally going to get to see Jordan Love, who they drafted in the first round several years ago. So we'll see how that works out. In our division, I've seen it all day today. Big changes in Cincinnati in the secondary. I thought it was a weak spot for them all last year. Looks like Jesse Bates and Von Bell, both safeties, have signed with other teams. That's a big difference for them. I wasn't in love with those guys. I think they signed for a lot of money. Same good safeties, good starting safeties. There isn't a lot of them around the league. There's always a shortage of those guys. That's not a value position, so it's not a lot of shortage. So they want to go ahead and they sign with big money with other teams. I think that may affect the Ravens as well. Pittsburgh, they went ahead and signed Patrick Peterson from Minnesota. So here's a guy 33 years old, but he had 5 interceptions last year. He's one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. Cam Sutton goes to Detroit, a young guy, decent enough. But I think he probably priced his way out of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is very cap conscious, etc. Probably goes past his way out of Pittsburgh. And you get a guy, you get an upgrade here. You get a Patrick Peterson here, a little bit older, the guy for 2-3 years. Hey, why not have a guy like that who has an all-pro pedigree and everything that goes? Cleveland, I haven't really, to my knowledge, seen anything big from them yet as far as that goes. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. The other thing I did want to mention here, and again, we're looking at it here. Let me look at it again while we're here. I have not seen anything with wide receivers yet. The 3 for sure, and again, that I'm absolutely keeping my eye on going forward is what I call the big 3 as far as wide receivers on the market currently. And that is Juju Smith-Schuster, Jacoby Myers, and Beckham. Beckham had a workout. The Ravens were there at his workout in Arizona. So no information there. But Beckham, you can sign him right now. Juju Smith-Schuster is not signed yet with Kansas City at all. I think he's one of the top free agents as well. He has not signed as well. Jacoby Myers, I have not seen that name at all with New England. He has not signed at all either with a team. I have not seen those names yet. We will continue to go ahead and take a look at that. Big need for the Ravens at receiver. Cornerback, Jamal Dean, I definitely want to mention that. Definitely a need for the Ravens. He goes and resigns with Tampa. One of the things I said, numbers were down. A lot of cornerbacks were getting 17, 18 million. His was about 13 million per. So that's a little bit less, and he signed with the same team. So that's telling me that maybe there weren't as many teams out there to go ahead and sign. I mentioned this before. A lot of these teams are having cap issues. The Bears and the Falcons were 2 teams before today with a ton of cap space. There was a lot of teams, a lot of restructuring to get under the cap, a lot of things that you get under the cap. A lot of things. Deshaun Watson, I heard he restructured $36 million of his guaranteed money so they could get under the cap, the Browns, so they could do anything. So we'll see how that goes. So I think this is why you're seeing numbers down at those premium positions, and it's affecting Lamar and everything, etc. So we will continue to keep an eye on this. So I wanted to just go ahead and recap everything because there's a lot going on. There's a lot still going on today. So if there is any other information, we will go ahead and get you squared away with that. So just to recap, just Ravens side, Chuck Clark has been traded. This a couple of days ago. Calais Campbell has been released. Ben Powers, left guard, starting with guard, signs with Denver. Josh Oliver, one of our tight ends, signs with Minnesota. The Ravens have not yet, to my knowledge, signed any free agents. This is not unusual. This is kind of standard procedure for them. They kind of don't, not always, here and there, but the first day is not their day. Look forward the next day or so. You'll see maybe an offer. They're definitely looking at receivers. They definitely have to look at corners, and they're definitely going to look at edge rush. So we'll see a lot of veteran guys here that are available that are not off the board yet. So thank you for joining us. We wanted to go ahead and just recap this big day for us football nerds that are Raven fans and you Oriole fans as well out there. One other thing with the channel, I did want to mention this here real quick before we go. A lot of football content we're having. We're going to have a little bit more baseball content, be a little bit more baseball once the draft is over, because after the draft, there's not as much going on probably. So a little bit more content after the draft there is over. And once the actual season starts here. So we're going to do on the ravorisports podcast this week, the weekly podcast, we're going to talk a little bit more baseball, talk about the entire MLB, a couple of those teams. MLB predictions show is going to be the Monday of opening week. So that's going to be a standalone video that we're going to have, and you're going to go ahead and check that out as well. Thank you for taking any time with us and joining us on the big day in the NFL free agency. Thank you, and you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one.